It wasn't the rats who disappeared, it was the children, and they never came back. In the year 1284, in a small German town named Hamelin, a single chilling line was recorded in the town's church chronicle. On the 26th of June, 130 children born in Hamelin disappeared. No mention of rats, no magic flute, just 130 missing children. It's a simple entry, barely 20 words. But behind those 20 words lies a mystery that has haunted the town and the world for over 700 years. What really happened in Hamelin? And why do we now picture rats and a Pied Piper? The story we know today paints a colorful picture: a town overrun by rats, a mysterious stranger dressed in bright, patchwork clothes. He speaks strangely, carries a simple flute, and makes a bold offer. "I'll rid your town of this plague if you pay me." Desperate, the townspeople agree. The piper plays his tune. Rats pour out from houses, barns, and sewers, chasing the music until they throw themselves into the Weser River and drown. The town celebrates. Their nightmare is over. But when the piper returns for his reward, the leaders laugh in his face. They break their promise. They refuse to pay. The piper says nothing. He simply leaves. But 3 days later, he comes back. And this time, when he plays his flute, it isn't rats who answer his call, it's the town's children, 130 of them. They march entranced out of the town gates and vanish forever. Here's the thing. The earliest records of Hamelin mention no rats. The first references to a piper appeared decades later. And the story of a rat infestation? That didn't show up until almost 2 centuries after the event. So if it wasn't about rats, what was it really about? Some historians believe the rats were added later, to make the story less horrifying, more like a fairy tale. Because the core of the legend is brutally simple: a mass disappearance, 130 children, gone without a trace, no fantasy, just tragedy. Even today, Hamelin carries the scars of that day. There's a street called Bungelosenstrasse, literally the street without drums or dancing. For centuries, it was forbidden to play music there. No festivals and no weddings, not even church bells. Every year on June 26th, Hamelin held a day of silence, commemorating the vanished children. Shops closed. Churches fell silent. The entire town mourned. Today, a plaque embedded into the ground still reminds visitors of the tragedy. It reads, "In the year 1284, on the day of Saints John and Paul, 130 children born in Hamelin disappeared after following a piper dressed in many colors." No mention of rats, no mention of magic, only the memory of a town that lost its children and never found them again. Even now, no one truly knows where the children went or what happened at the place once called the Koppen. Over the centuries, countless theories have emerged. One idea is that the children of Hamelin weren't kidnapped or killed, but recruited. During the 13th century, Germany was undergoing a movement known as the Ostsiedlung, the eastward migration. Thousands of young Germans were sent eastward to settle in places like Poland, Hungary, and Romania. Some believed the Pied Piper was a recruiter, someone offering promises of land and fortune. Perhaps the children weren't stolen. Perhaps they left willingly. And perhaps their families never saw them again. Not because of magic, but because of migration and the silence of history. Interestingly, a similar story exists in Krakow, Poland. There too, a mysterious musician arrived, playing a melody so irresistible that the children followed him. Never to return, parents searched. But it was too late. The musician had vanished, and so had the children. Like Hamelin, Krakow experienced massive migrations during this time. The echoes are too strong to ignore. Perhaps this wasn't just a story unique to Hamelin. Perhaps it was a shared trauma across towns and borders. In the early 19th century, the Brothers Grimm collected the Hamelin tale and gave it the shape we recognize today: the infestation of rats, the betrayal of the townspeople, the piper's colorful clothes, the revenge. They transformed a brutal historical mystery into a moral fable. Break your promises, and you will lose what you hold most dear. But in doing so, they also softened the horror. They turn tragedy into legend, pain into parable. Today, when we think of the Pied Piper, we imagine rats swimming in rivers and a man in a jester's costume. But Hamelin remembers something else. Not fantasy, not magic, just silence and loss, once upon a minute. In the next tale, a little girl in a red hood, a wolf hiding behind a smile, and a warning that's far darker than you remember. The untold story of Little Red Riding Hood. Subscribe and turn on notifications.